Phil Mickelson has played competitive golf exactly once in 2026. One time. In an entire calendar year, one of the most recognizable names in the sport has teed it up competitively a single time. And this weekend, he's missing yet another LIV Golf event, this time in the United Kingdom. His team says it's a family health matter, the same explanation they've given all year. But new reports are starting to raise a very different set of questions. So today, let's actually break down what's going on with Phil Mickelson, why he keeps disappearing, and what people are starting to say behind the scenes. Let's start with this weekend specifically. Mickelson is sitting out LIV Golf United Kingdom, which is being played at JCB Golf and Country Club. He is officially listed as withdrawn on the tournament leaderboard. That means his team, HY Flyers GC, once again needed a replacement. And once again, that replacement is Scott Vincent. This is actually the third time this season Vincent has stepped in for Mickelson. Think about that for a second. A wild-card player has now filled in for a six-time major champion 3 separate times in one season. And here's the part that makes it even more interesting. Vincent hasn't just filled a seat, he's actually performed better than Mickelson has all year while doing it. Standing in for Mickelson, Vincent finished 4th in Mexico City, 8th in Virginia, and 5th in Korea. Those are quietly solid results, and they are coming from a guy who's essentially playing as a substitute. Now, if this were just one missed tournament, nobody would think twice about it. Golfers skip events all the time. But this isn't a one-off. This is part of a much bigger pattern that has basically defined Mickelson's entire 2026 season. Let's walk through it chronologically, because when you see it all laid out together, it really does paint a strange picture. It started at the very beginning of the year. Mickelson missed LIV Golf Riyadh, which was the season opener, and the explanation given was a family health matter. Then he missed LIV Golf Adelaide next, citing the exact same reason. Then came LIV Golf Hong Kong, and once again, he wasn't there. This time it was Wade Ormsby stepping in as the replacement. By this point, 3 events into the season, Mickelson hadn't played a single competitive round. Then, in March, he finally showed up. He played LIV Golf South Africa, and it seemed like maybe things were turning around. He finished tied for 48th. Not a great result, but hey, at least he was back on the course. Except, that was it. That one event in South Africa remains, to this day, the only competitive tournament Phil Mickelson has played in all of 2026. After that, the absences continued. He withdrew from the Masters just days before the tournament began, once again pointing to his family's ongoing health situation. For a 3-time Masters champion, skipping the most special week in golf, as he himself has called it in the past, is a pretty significant statement about how serious this situation must be. Then he wasn't in the field for the 2026 British Open at Royal Birkdale either, another major, another absence. And now here we are, with LIV Golf UK added to that same growing list. So naturally, people are starting to ask questions. What's actually going on with Phil Mickelson? It's worth remembering that this isn't entirely new territory for him either. Mickelson also missed the very start of the 2025 LIV Golf season, though that time it was due to a shoulder injury picked up in the gym, and he was expected back within a couple of weeks. That absence was minor and physical, and it resolved itself quickly. What's happening in 2026 is a completely different scale of thing. This isn't a 2-week injury layoff. This is an entire season slipping away, one tournament at a time, with the same explanation repeated over and over. The official answer, the one that's been consistent from his camp all year, is that this is a family health matter. That's the line they gave at the start of the season, and it's the line they've stuck with through every single withdrawal since. Nobody is disputing that family health situations are serious and deeply personal, and it's completely reasonable for someone to step away from their career to deal with something like that. But here's where it gets more complicated. Recently, separate reports have surfaced that are raising questions about Mickelson's marriage alongside misconduct allegations that have been trailing him for some time. Now, I want to be really clear about something here. Nothing has officially connected these reports to his golf absences. Mickelson's team hasn't addressed them directly, and there's no confirmed link between the family health matter he's cited and these other stories circulating. We're not going to sit here and connect dots that haven't actually been connected. But at the same time, it's understandable why people in the golf world are starting to wonder whether the full picture is more complicated than what's officially been said. So where does that leave things? Well, Mickelson is 56 years old now. That alone matters in a sport where even the most legendary careers eventually wind down. Add on top of that the fact that LIV Golf as a league has faced its own share of speculation about its long-term financial stability, and you start to see a bigger question forming, not just about this one weekend, but about whether Mickelson is going to play golf competitively again at all, at least not with any regularity. It's a strange place for someone with his resume to be in. This is a guy with 4 to 5 PGA Tour wins, 6 major championships, 3 green jackets from the Masters, a PGA championship when at 50 years old that a lot of people still consider one of the great achievements in golf history. He was, for decades, one of the most beloved and reliable presences in the sport, the kind of player fans specifically bought tickets to go watch. And now, in 2026, he's shown up to play exactly once. Whether this is purely a family situation that deserves privacy and patience, or whether there's more beneath the surface that we haven't heard yet, is honestly something none of us outside his inner circle can say for certain right now. What we do know is that the pattern speaks for itself: 9 missed events, 1 appearance, and a replacement player quietly outperforming him along the way. There's also a bigger question hanging over this for HY Flyers GC as a team. Mickelson isn't just a player on the roster, he's the captain. LIV Golf's team format means his consistent absence puts extra pressure on his teammates to carry the team standings without him, tournament after tournament. A captain who's played once all season creates a strange dynamic inside the locker room, even if nobody says it publicly. It also raises questions about what happens long-term. Does Mickelson eventually step back from a leadership role on the team if this continues into next season, or does HY Flyers simply keep operating around him, treating Scott Vincent almost like a permanent fixture rather than an occasional fill-in? And this LIV Golf UK event itself isn't a small one to be missing either. It's the 10th tournament of the season, with a 57-player field competing for a $30 million purse, split between individual and team prize money. These are massive events, both competitively and financially, and each one Mickelson skips is real money and real ranking points left on the table. On top of the story, it tells about where his career currently stands. So I want to hear from you on this one. Do you think this is purely about family, and we should just give him the space and privacy to deal with it? Or do you think there's something more going on that we haven't fully heard about yet? Let me know what you think down in the comments. And if you want more breakdowns like this one, LIV Golf news, PGA Tour storylines, and everything happening in the world of professional golf right now, make sure you're subscribed, because there's a lot more of this coming. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.